It all started in 2012 when I was sitting in my room and I asked myself, all right, so if one day I am no longer working in the media, or one day something has happened and we all have to be laid off, what actually am I coming home with? What am I doing? What other extra income am I going to get or live on? And so then I thought it wiser, listen, I love cooking, but I wouldn't want to do mainstream cooking, like owning a restaurant or stuff, but what can I do with my cooking skills? And so I decided to try plantain chips because my regular job actually would not give me the time to do a heavy hobby. And so I thought, all right, plantain chips is very simple. If I like to do it, I can spend some more time to work on it. And so I invested 1,000 cedis out of my salary by then, and then went to buy all the stuff and ingredients that I needed. So I started with coal pots, a Japan, a very big one. And then I bought the small fryer, bought the handle, everything that would be needed to start the plantain chips business. I was just playing around. Trust me, I was just kidding around it, in my spare time when I'm not doing anything, when I'm not on the field, when I'm not on location, when I'm not directing. I said, let me just go into the kitchen and then prepare plantain chips because I loved it. But I had challenges with the ones outside. I almost swallowed a pin some time ago when I bought one. And so I told myself, no, this is not right. I mean, we need to serve great snacks for people. And so I took it upon myself to change, to be a game changer actually. And so, yeah, plantain chips is all over the place, but I wanted to add value to it. When I did this investment, I started and I did the first batch and took it to the office. And so my colleagues, I said, you guys should try it after break, after lunch, let's have some crunchies. And yeah, I got my first crib, like, hey, my lady, what is this? Yeah, you've done well, but it's not crunchy, it's not nice. The comments were terrible, but that did not deter me. I still came back and took all their comments into consideration and then worked on it, improved on it. And then the next batch, I took it again. Yes, it was close to better, but still needed more room for improvement. And so the third batch, which I finally found a very good grater to use, because by then I was using a knife to cut, and that was very terrible. And so grater was very easy by then, and so I got my fine cut, I got the size really nice, and then bingo, I got my crunchy taste. And so when I got it, I named it Mary's Crunch. I used my name, Maran, and so I just said, okay, Mary's Crunch. So I quickly got my friend to get me a label, get me a sticker, and then I stuck it on the papers, the rubbers to be different, you see, so that they know that I'm not the roadside ones. Because they kept asking me, what makes you different? So the difference was to do the branding. And then I did it and I placed it there. And then they appreciated the effort, so they bought it. Maybe they bought it out of sympathy because, But with time, I saw that this would be really viable. It would be a viable business if I put my mind to it and add a little effort, make a little effort to improve upon it. And so I started researching, I started talking to people in terms of business-wise. I was looking at the business essence. So at some point, there was no consistency. I said I needed training, but how do I get a training? It means that I have to be an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur means that I need to do something out of the box. And so I went to study at GIMPA, a short course on entrepreneurship, and that actually encouraged me. It gave me a lot of ideas, and it gave me that confidence to come and then make the business more exciting. And so I took it one day at a time, and I told myself, listen, I wrote my mission statement, my vision statement, where I wanted to go with the business, and I saw that, no, there was something really in there that I wanted to do. That is, take it far, make it a snack that everybody will enjoy, everybody will crave for it. And so I registered. I had friends advising me, listen, that you need to make sure that you get your regulations done with FDA and GSA. So I did every research that I needed to do, and the challenge started. When it comes to success and failures, I'll start with success because that's the happy part. All right, so I was so excited one day that I had a call from a guy from multimedia, Koco, thank you so much. And Koco called me and said, hey Maran, where are you? You remember your interview on restoration with Stacy. Okay, so there's this gentleman who's going to call you from Nigeria, and he thinks he need your help actually. So attend to him and see what you can do for him. I was like, really? Nigeria? Huh. I got me scared. And so a week later, after the call with Faculty, he called me, Mr. Segun, wherever you are. And then he called me and said, listen, I have a big factory way back in Ogun State. I have everything and I have what it takes, but I actually don't have the know-how. I tried your chips and then it's amazing. How do you do it? I'm like, Mr. Segun, I can't share my trade secrets, okay? So it's going to be difficult. But he says, I know, but what if you come and consult for us? I was like, really? Consultation? I mean, is this what I've got into? Consultants. I mean, my cottage business. How do I go into a large and a big factory to be a consultant? But you see, that is grace, okay? And it shows that there's something good in there that somebody has seen and would want to tap into it. And so I spoke to my business advisors, and then I was advised to go and see what is happening, but to tread cautiously and make sure that you don't share all your trade secrets, okay? And so 5th January, all expenses paid, went to Lagos and went to check the factory for 1 week. And honestly, I was surprised. I was really, really, really amazed at the machine, the equipment, the whole production line was there. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, I wish I would stay here because this is what I'm looking for. I mean, this is what I really want to see myself in this big factory. And so I said, no problem, we need to help each other. And whatever confidence that he got to call me, I think I should also give him that respect and assist him. And so we went through all the necessary inspection. I saw what was wrong, and then I advised, and we did it. We did it as a team. They also helped me, and then we were able to achieve it. And so within a week, we got results, and he was happy that he's gotten results with his plantain chips. And so I kept going back to him and asking what they're training. So I actually trained the staff on a few quality controls, what I do here and how it has helped me and what they can also gain from it. So one of my biggest challenge that I'll never forget, honestly, it keeps haunting me sometimes, and I wonder why it happened, was when a customer I sold to a distributor actually. And then the distributor also sold to her client. And then later called me back and said that I think that the seal is broken on the container. And I was like, how come? What happened? Because I know I packaged it and then I double checked everything before packing it into the box. And so I was surprised. So I was trying to trace what happened. And I said, would it be the driver or the delivery that went wrong or what? And so she sent me a picture of the seal that was broken on it. And I felt so bad. I felt so terrible. I was like, goodness, I hope that the whole batch is not like that. And then she says, no, it's this particular one. So, the only thing was, listen, I had to apologize because the customer is always right. I had to apologize and then reimburse them. I told them to send it back, and then we changed it. And so there are other times too that when I'm not there or I've traveled, I've left it to my staff, and then they do the packaging and one of the packaging didn't go well, and the calls were coming in. I was getting a lot of comments, but you see, I had to work on it, talk to them nicely and correct it. So there hasn't been a real major failure, but it's not a pleasant thing when you're getting negative reaction from your clients with the product. My advice to the youth, especially young women who are entering into entrepreneurship or who are into the business, who have started their own business, who are growing their business, my advice is that keep up the good faith. And my advice to you is that be strong. My advice to you is that don't belittle your ability and think that it's only money. Because a couple of times I've spoken to them, and then we are all complaining, actually. We are all complaining about money. We need money to boost it. We need money. We need funds and all that. But if you're giving $10,000 or 100 million Ghana cedis and you haven't put the right things in place, it will still not be sufficient for you. And so the best thing for you, my advice is that cut down on certain lifestyle. Women, let's cut it down. Our shoes, our clothes, and all that, and invest into the business. Because it is when you have pre-finance, it is when you have added value to it before it will attract somebody to come and add up. And so you can't be sitting down there and wearing your heels and looking all nice, and then you go begging for money. And then if I'm an investor, I'll tell myself that if I sell your wig and sell your shoes, I guess that I can use it to grow the business. And so it doesn't mean that you should also go naked. It means that you should be modest, but make sure that your focus and your aim of achieving the business or raising the business or growing the business is done.